My friend stole my idea and used it to get a job I was deserving of. Here's what I did. Part 2. I was furious but, at the time, didn't want to burn bridges. I kept my head down, worked on my assignments, and focused on making myself valuable. However, the next year, Brian applied for a job at a competitor. He used my idea as a huge selling point in the interview, which helped him secure a high-paying position at this rival company. Meanwhile, I was stuck at my current company, frustrated and wondering if anyone would ever recognize my work. That's when I decided to take action. I knew that Brian had always been careless with his code. He'd frequently leave security loopholes, which I had caught a few times during our collaborative work. I had kept a copy of some of the work we did together, including the drafts of the app feature we'd worked on. I knew how sloppy Brian could be, and I also knew that he hadn't signed an NDA when we worked on that project. What I did next is something I don't really regret, even though it was a bit underhanded. I emailed the HR department of the company Brian had moved to, with a very detailed breakdown of how the app feature he was using as his own idea had originated in my work. I included a few examples of his poor coding practices that would leave his system vulnerable to attacks, and I attached timestamps from our company's project management tool to show that I was the one who had proposed the feature first. I even included some code snippets to make it undeniable. 2 days later, I got a response from the HR department asking me to clarify a few details. Over the next week, I was in touch with them, providing more information. It turned out that the company was quite thorough with their internal investigations. By the time they were done, they had confirmed that Brian had indeed taken credit for someone else's work, and they were concerned about the security issues in his code. The final blow came when they decided to revoke his job offer and terminate him. They told him that his failure to disclose his prior involvement in the idea had damaged his credibility, and that his work violated their company's standards for innovation and integrity. Needless to say, Brian was blindsided. I didn't do this for the satisfaction of seeing him lose his job, well, maybe a little, but to show that stealing someone's hard work has consequences. I knew it would cost him, and it did. As for me, I eventually got a promotion, and a year after this incident, I got hired by a company that valued my skills and ideas. The job I've got now is much more fulfilling, and I've never looked back. Lesson learned: don't mess with someone's work if you don't want the consequences to come back to bite you.